the years, I've had a ton of fun theorizing and dreaming of what could be in the Pokemon franchise, from potential new Mega Evolutions to new regional forms and much, much more. And the latest hype is thinking of and designing new and old Paradox forms for both Scarlet and Violet. And we've got some incredible ideas for Paradox forms that are gonna absolutely blow your mind. So let's take a look. All right, so one of the coolest things about this video is I'm gonna actually be showcasing a handful of artists that are actually on my team for my game Elestrals, which is really cool. So big shout outs to these guys. All these artists are absolutely incredible. But I thought it'd be fun to look at some of their art and some of these different ideas because some of the Paradox forms are incredible. And while I do think Violet strikes out on a lot of them, some of the Scarlet ones are at least very good. So let's dive in. We've got Dennis here, Artworks 218, and he's got some really cool ideas. So the first one being Raging Fist, which he has as a Darmanitan, which we've already seen Darmanitan get some love with Galarian Darmanitan, and of course getting its, the snowman form. This one he envisions as Fire and Ghost, and it's kind of like a very primal version of Darmanitan, which I thought was pretty dope. And then he actually comes out with Savage Sword, which is ground and dark, and it's kind of like this on all fours hybrid Nidoking with this like massive kind of sword on its nose. I feel like this thing looks wicked, dude. Ground and dark, really cool typing, super offensive as well. Some really cool ideas from Dennis here. And I'll pause and let you guys know that in the comment section below, you guys can let me know what kind of Paradox form you would do if you could pick any Pokemon and turn it into a Paradox form. Let me know in the comments section below. We've got V-Create, a really awesome artist on the Elestral squad with Swift Scythes, which is bug and water, basically taking a fossil Pokemon, which I think it's really funny to take a fossil and kind of make a Paradox version of that. Really cool looking. It almost kind of has some Kabuto vibes, has some kind of throwback vibes, and of course bug and water instead of rock and water, which I really dig, obviously, as a fan of bug types. Next, we've got Ampharos, which is a Paradox form of Ampharos, which is not a Pokemon. This is an Elestral. But you guys can follow the Set 2 development of Elestrals by simply going to elestrals.com or join our Discord server at discord.gg/Elestrals, where I'm building Set 2 of Elestrals in the open, more or less, in our Discord server. So join up and have some fun. Dragonith is another one of the awesome artists we have, and they actually made Sodden Shell, which is water and grass, and obviously has photosynthesis. This is kind of like a Gastrodon version, which I love. Like, I really love this design. I feel like it's so good. This idea of a kind of ancient form of Gastrodon, I think, is adorable. It looks really cool. I love the shell. I love that it like stands and it's almost like kind of a dinosaur. I think that's really sick. Warhawk here, another one from Dragonith, is a ghost and flying Dragapult. So we saw like Hydreigon get one, we saw Salamence get one. Dragapult, that is what we need right there. Kind of holding on to those Dreepies. I love that it's like, I personally just think the ancient forms are the coolest, but I love the tail that it has on this thing. Like, this is a wicked design from Dragonith, and they're not even done because this has to be one of my favorite ones. Raging Dragon, Water Dragon. It's a Magikarp that is actually like a dragon. It's like, it's the ancient ancestor of Magikarp, and it says Gyarados' rage cannot compare at all to this monster. This is an angry fish, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, this fish is very angry. I love it, man. This is a really cool idea and a really cool design in my opinion. My boy Lewis Brain coming out with this normal and rock Proto Porygon. Love this concept, right? Porygon, obviously, like this digital Pokemon that exists in the Pokemon world. This is if it were to be like an ancient form of Paradox form of Porygon, where it's made out of rock, which I think is so cool. Like, so many of these ideas are just phenomenal. Like, I really hope that we see them expand and explore the Paradox lore a little bit more. We know that the DLC is likely gonna have like Virizion and also like the Suicune, but I hope that they do more, because I feel like this is an opportunity where they have a cool way to like reintroduce Pokemon in new ways, which I've always been a fan of, and I loved it with Mega Evolution. This is kind of like our new version of that. Last Shaman coming out with this idea for an Evolution, which is like this very hybridized, like every Eevee all blended together to make this cool kind of Evolution idea of being kind of like a past evolution or something like that, of like it kind of before they all separated. The Elite Four, who is incredible. You guys may know them from Pokemon Xenoverse, the fan-made game, but they also work on Elestrals as well. Making this ancient Charizard, Fiery Fury, fire and fighting type. and it kind of drops down, doesn't have flight, obviously. I really like its kind of wings and its arms, really dope. It's got a really solid base and a wicked tail with those spikes, man. I think that's really sick from the Elite Four. Nani coming out with the Mew here with an ancient Mew, and it's kind of got like the umbilical cord as its tail. Very wicked looking. I love kind of the multicolors in its eyes, has some kind of resemblance to some of the different Mewtwo X and Y Mega forms. Really cool design overall from Nani there. One of the best is gotta be my boy Bromo Jumbo. Bromo came out with Iron Shogun, so we've got some future forms. This is a Steel and Water, which is obviously reminiscent of Golisopod, and it's wicked, dude. Like, the top of him isn't even attached to the bottom of him. That looks super duper cool. It says this large creature was observed near bodies of water, standing as still as a statue. I love that the little lore they throw in too, right? Like these artists, they add little lore, they kind of add some story to it. I think that this could make for like really cool fan game concepts. Iron Mayhem, which is like all of the Rotom forms together, right? So you've got like the fan, you've got the fridge, you've got the Mo, the wash, the oven, everything like blended together. And it's basically electric and normal is what they're kind of expecting here. And it's this like kind of amalgamation of all the different Rotom forms together, which I think is really dope. And Iron Watcher, man, Beware getting some love. You gotta love that. Normal Fairy, it becomes this futuristic Beware. Again, I gotta love the past forms myself, but this idea of a futuristic Beware is just too sick to pass up on. So another huge home run from Bromo Jumbo. Bromo's got a bunch, right? Like, Bromo has so many that are really awesome, so you gotta dig that. Back to Dragonith, much like I love that idea of like blending the Rotoms together, Iron Amalgam, which I just said amalgamation, so that's kind of funny. And it's this combination of the fossils from Sword and Shield, where you've got like Dracovish, you've got Dracozolt, and then kind of some different features of the different fossils that were in the Galar region. This is pure steel with Quark Drive, obviously, like a futuristic version of these Pokemon. I really like this idea of them all kind of blended together like that. Diego coming out with this cool Gengar. I love it, dude. Like disco dancing Gengar with like these LEDs all over its face. Like that is so cool in my opinion. Like future Gengar being like this disco ball kind of dude. I think that'd be really, really sick. And then you gotta love Neo Sunflora. So it almost looks like it's kind of like a solar panel in a way, which I think is a genius design, electric and grass. Like I could see this powering the Pokemon world, right? Like they set these up outside of the, you know, gyms or whatever, and they gather the sunlight and convert it to energy. Like this is such a sick idea, especially in a game that kind of featured Sunflora a good amount, right? Especially in the grass gym. So you got an opportunity there, and I thought that this is a really cool idea from Lewis. We've got a couple other ideas. We've got a futuristic Iron, I can't even read what that says, hold on. Iron Rotor, so it's poison and flying, and it's Venusaur, which is so sick, dude. And that's from Elite Four, gotta love that. And then they actually did Iron Friend, oh, that's adorable. It's an Eevee, it's a futuristic Eevee, Paradox Eevee, super adorable, future Eevee. I wonder like if they would ever kind of go down this route of like full-blown futuristic forms, full-blown like past forms. I really just like how they added that. Dennis coming back, we kind of started the video. We've got Iron Cauldron. How sick is this concept? Grass and fire, it's Ludicolo, but it's like a cauldron head. I think that's so sick, dude. Make some wicked potions. And then Iron Blaster, dude, this is such a good design. Clauncher straight up, just having this mecha gun, water and electric. Such a cool idea from Dennis again, Artworks 218. I just love these things, man. It's so fun to look at this stuff. I don't know if you guys geek out as hard as I do, but I just honestly love looking at these different ideas. Like, I love doing it with Mega Evolutions and wishing like what could be like Mega Masquerain and things like that. But to do it with Paradox forms is just as fun in my opinion. And big shouts to all of these incredible artists for all their great work. Like I said, it was a lot of fun for me to show off some of the artists that I've hired over the last year to work on my project Elestrals, and we're working hard on that. So super duper awesome stuff. You guys can follow the development in Discord at discord.gg/Elestrals. Even if you missed our Kickstarter, you can watch us develop set 2, which is something unique, right? Like most companies developing monster games or card games, they're not doing it kind of in the public, and we're like, hey, here's a new Elestral that we're working on. What do you guys think it should ascend into? Or what do you think its typing should be, its elements should be? What should we name it, right? Like what should its effect be? Like we're really doing this out in the open, so I'd love to have you be a part of it. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.